3.28 patch notes only brought good news for Kinetic Fusillade League starter. Even I dare to say we got buffed a little. With the new league, you will need good clear, signal target and tonkiness at the same time. This league starter ticking every single box to make your league start smooth. What's up guys, Pidget here. Kinetic Fusillade mechanically is a very interesting skill. There are so many factors that is influencing how the skill is functioning. Normally, without anything, you create a hovering kinetic projectile. After a short duration, the projectile is fired at the enemy. But with the correct setup, you make your character look like a sentry tower that's shooting continuously many projectiles in a second. To reach that, you need specific unique items, lower down your skill effect duration and match your attack speed to that numbers. Luckily, we can do that very easily with a calculator made by the community. Why I choose Hierophant instead over Elementalist or Champion Ascendancies? The only reason is because most of them is just very glass cannon even with high investment. If you are opening up any POB with very high investment with the mentioned Ascendancies, you will see how I would say glass cannon these builds, in my honest opinion. So this is why I choosing Hierophant over them, because we can have Mind Over Matter also make our mana protecting our life as well because of the Ascendancy notable, so we gaining even more effective HP and also enabling very interesting things like mana scaling as well to this skill. Because this is an attack skill, we can easily reach back any mana we spend on this ability, so we don't need to worry about running out mana if we're taking damage or our Arcane Cloak is activating. Gaining 4 minimum endurance charges out of nowhere because of the Ascendancy gives us endurance charges, which is very nice defensive option against physical and elemental damage, and if you pairing with spell suppression you will become a very tanky even on league starter settings. There is a few I would say problem with the build. First, because we need to scale reduced skill effect duration. Because of that, our Arcane Cloak uptime will became 3 seconds instead of 6 seconds. So this is very noticeable, especially when you want, sustained DPS. So the DPS will look like a little bit more spiky than any other build. And the other thing is could be annoying for many of you if you need to change like your wand with an attack speed wand, or you losing attack speed from any source. You need once again just put your numbers into calculator and see if you're still getting the machine gun effect or not. And also, in my opinion, the leveling as well could be a little bit annoying, because normally while you're leveling, you cannot reach the the perfect setup, the machine gun setup or the sentry setup, how are you liking it, because the unique items maybe it's not available, or the unique items is way more expensive, because there is a good chance this becoming a very popular league starter build in my opinion. And also, while you leveling, you need to wait a little bit every single time when you activating your ability, because the projectiles needs to go out, right? Because if you just holding down your ability, it will not go out, just like with the perfect setup. So this is why I'm saying it's kind of annoying to level up, in my opinion. So keep this in mind, please guys, while you choosing your league starter. The calculator is also very important, as I mentioned, because you will be using this one pretty often, especially when you getting your ring and the amulet to find the perfect setup, because the site can tell you if your setup is perfect, imperfect, or no machine gun. And the site is also helping you pretty easily. It's literally showing to you which number you need to input from your POB to get the calculation correctly. As always, for my POB, I including a leveling section, also a tree progression and skill progression as well. Although this time I want to talk about a little bit the options for leveling, because I mentioned personally I'm not a big fan about Kinetic Fusillade leveling until you getting your ring and your amulet, because at that time, because when you getting these two, you can maybe already match attack speed that you have currently to your duration, so you can have the machine gun effect, the perfect setup, right? Because otherwise you need to wait. You need to wait every single time when you're using your ability a little bit, because the projectiles is flying out. So to avoid that, you can just use the, you know, the good old power siphon leveling, or when you're reaching the first lab and you're getting lucky, you can just like get, you know, the power siphon of the Archmage or the kinetic blast of clustering. So with both skills, you will have a nice leveling experience and you don't need to wait every single time when you're using your ability. Although there is an option, you can just use Kinetic Fusillade as well while you leveling. It's up to you, so I don't want to influence you, but this is my personal opinion. And if I starting with this build, I will definitely stick to power siphon or maybe kinetic blast of clustering till I getting the warp timepiece and the time clasp moonstone unique ring. Till then, I feel like I will just stick to my power siphon or the kinetic blast of clustering, what I getting on the first lab. Few word about the last Ascendancy, right? Because, you know, Hierophant normally doesn't getting too much if you an attack-based build on last, right? So normally this is how would your Ascendancy look like, right? That is absolutely bad, right? So luckily the Bloodlines Ascendancies are back and they not nerfed anything about this, so you can just pick Farul Bloodline and take the Hunt Leader and you will getting Spectral Tigers on critical strike. Spectral Tigers is granting you crit and attack speed while they active, and they refreshing their own duration when you dealing a critical strike once again. Although, don't worry about this one, guys, because just with the calculator, I matched perfectly the setup. When we have all of the Spectral Tigers, or setup is perfect, more than perfect. Even it's good when you doesn't have Spectral Walls, so every single time when you just, you know, load in on the map, your setup will be perfect. Okay, so I took my time and just done a few testing and calculation, so you don't need to do that. Okay, I hope you will appreciate that one a little bit. Now a few words about the defensive layers and the damage numbers. So first, guys, the damage numbers. As I mentioned, the build we are using Arcane Cloak, right? This is a monostacking build. Because of that, most of the time when the Arcane Cloak doesn't up, your damage will look like something like that. But I can tell you that, guys, this is more than enough while you just mapping and, you know, fighting against rare monsters. While you fighting against the boss, at least one single time the Arcane Cloak will turn on, or 2 times even, and you will have a very nice damage. Although, don't forget to use the Sigil of Power, but I disabled in the POB because this is literally padding, right? This is absolutely padding, but technically speaking, you can easily reach stage 4 with this one because of the Mind of the Conceal unique helmet, because every single time when we attacking, we losing 3% of our mana, and I think that is counting in the Sigil of Power as well, so you almost instantly reaching the maximum stages. But you know, while you mapping, it will be not up, but on boss fight, don't forget to use it. So that is the damage breakdown, and this is how it's it will going down, guys. So it will be, maybe some people will questioning this one, and I know Arcane Cloak is a very powerful tool and so on, but I just want to raise your attention about this one. And also, very important, we will use Origin support with precision. You will need to match your precision level to how much accuracy rating is missing. So you can get more, or even like level 1 if you somehow getting accuracy rating roll on your gear. Although, we will able to use, because of this, an Eternal Blessing. So right now it's selected Wrath. Okay, so Wrath is literally the best aura that you can get for damage aura for this build. But if you want more tonkiness, you can just stick, you can just use the Grace and get a very nice amount of base evasion rating that you will have. So you will have, you know, more evade chance and so on. It's up to you. So I feel like, guys, this number that you see here, it's more than enough to take down all of the normal Pinnacle bosses, so it's not a big deal if you choosing the lower damage one, unless you want, blessed maps, but it's up to you. As always, in my POB, I also including a note section as well, such as like helping you on early damage sources, how to improve your gear, and when to swap to Kinetic Fusillade, or what bloodline you can pick, and so on, and so many things. And also I put here the calculator once again, because guys, that is very, very important to use it, otherwise you will feel bad the build and you will be getting disappointed. So this is why I put here the calculator, even on the mobility site, and even in the description I will put there as well. So I hope you will not miss out this one, and also important stats you looking for, such as like the reduced skill effect duration, attack speed, and additional projectile as well, because the more projectile you have, the more damage in theory you have, but you need to match your attack speed, skill effect duration reduction as well. So many things. If you changing one single thing, you need to check once again. So it's much better if you doing that before you breaking your build or spending a tons of money. Use the calculator. Simple as that. That was a very big surprise for me. They did not nerf any of these skills, like all of the one skills or Hierophant in general, or they just letting us use the bloodlines, ascendancies. There is so many things that I'm very surprised and happy about it as well. So this is why I can safely suggest this build to league start with it. Although there are so many other build as well that I will publish in the following days, so I will choose one of them and I will let you know what I'm starting. But this build will be a very solid choice if you want to play a monster, be tonky, have good clear, good signal target damage, and basically enjoy the new league in general. So this is a very nice build for that, and also with investment this will scale very well as well. Till then guys, I hope you enjoyed this league starter video. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pridget2. Thanks for watching. I was Pridget. See you next time.